let's say you're ready to take on a room and really embrace whatever you're excited about, a darker color, a wallpaper, a texture, or a pattern, and do it in an entire room to really give you that continuity that helps create those beautiful designer rooms. Now, how do you go about finding the right color or pattern for you? There's really two ways that I figure out how I can select a color that I would love to live with, or maybe that my customer would love to live with for a really long time. The first way I do that is I have to dig deep. I really have to dig deep, kind of shy away from all the trends and ask myself, what color would I really love to live with for at least 10 years? Then I ask myself, how about 15 years? And then even how about longer than that? And once I start asking myself that question, it really becomes very clear to me what colors I wouldn't want to see, what are things that might be trendy that I really love, and then what sorts of things will inspire me for years to come. This is a really important question and something that I really ask myself if I'm working on things like a bolder color, colors on my cabinets, wallpapers, faux finishes, and even when I'm making a big investment in an antique or really special piece of furniture. I really want to know what are the things that I would love to live with year after year after year. So I'll give you an example. Right now, I'm really loving this really rich, very luscious color of orange right now. There's a burnt orange that's become very popular in the design scene, and I'm loving the combination of it with really classic pieces like Amari. Remember Amari? It was so trendy just a few years ago, has fallen out of trend, and now is really coming back and mixed in with a lot of very modern eclectic decor. I love it. I think it's extraordinary, but it doesn't really go with the colors that I know I would love to live with year after year after year. So that would help me decide I don't want to do a whole room in this color scheme, and I wouldn't even want to do an accent wall in this color scheme because deep down inside, I know that's not really me. So that's the first way I go about selecting a color palette that I know that I can invest in and enjoy for year after year after year. The second way I go about selecting a really bold color, a beautiful color, a wallpaper, or a pattern is by looking at the things that I already have. I know many of us feel like we wish we could start all over again, just toss it out and really start from a fresh slate. But that's not practical. That's not how most of us design. And honestly, that's not how I would recommend designing to you. You want your home to be a curated reflection of your life's journeys, the places you travel, the special pieces that you buy throughout the different milestones of your life, and really express those memories as you go about decorating your home. So I usually look around my home and take cues from the things that I already have. And if you start to take stock and take inventory of the things that you already have, generally speaking, you'll find some commonalities in them, and that will help you guide your selection when you want to make a bold move like lacquering an entire room, or painting over your wood paneling, or adding wallpaper, or maybe even adding an accent wall. So I'm working on a project right now, and I'm going to show you how I will pull from these very fabrics. You can see them right here. I've got this really beautiful collection of linens and textures and chenilles and small prints and large prints, florals, geometrics. And these are going to be my guide to help me go through my paint deck and find the right color for my project. So just using these fabrics as a guide, I can really find the right color. It just shouts out to me right away. I'm looking at all these really beautiful, rich smoky grays, and depending on the project that I'm working on, these would be beautiful with this color scheme that I'm working on right now. And that's exactly how I would go about selecting a color that I would really want to use for an entire room. Looking at these fabrics, some of the ones that pop out to me are Benjamin Moore Historical Color 168 Chelsea Gray. That's probably my favorite one out of the ones that I was looking at while I was considering the fabrics that I'm already working with. Something that I would really love to live with and enjoy layering all the beautiful things that I would eventually add to the home decor of this project. I hope you've really enjoyed this week's topic on accent walls. So should you or shouldn't you? That's the question. If you're asking me, in my design practice, I really love continuity. I love continuity and keeping that movement throughout the room rather than putting the focus on just one wall. But if you really love accent walls and they really inspire you, I say go for it. Ultimately, it's your home and you've got to put into your home what inspires you. Now, whether you're working on an accent wall or an entire room, remember my principles and select an area where you feel comfortable really going bold. Again, that might be a smaller space, such as a powder bathroom, a foyer, or maybe a room that you don't frequent as often, such as a guest room. Once you've decided the space that you're gonna do, either your accent wall or an entire room, use your fabrics to really help guide you in the right direction. Ask yourself those deeper questions of, can I be happy with this 7 years down the road, 10 years down the road? And if the answer is yes, you're on the right track. And of course, use your fabrics to really help guide you to select the right colors, the right patterns, and the right textures for you. I know it can be really intimidating, but going bold with color and pattern can be a very beautiful way to express your home and your passions and tell your story within your home. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment and let us know if you're for the accent wall or if you'd love to really embrace a bolder design choice in an entire room of your house. And be sure to let us know the next time you stop by Village Antiques which one you love. Thanks so much for watching. For an accent wall is if you're trying to create a focal point with an architectural feature of a room. So if you have a room that has some great architectural features, you can really emphasize that